Keith, East Village Wine Geek here. Today I'm going to get obscure. The theme for today's wine blog is wines that need a home. You know what I love really wacky, obscure stuff. At Invino, our Italian restaurant, David and I are always buying really wacky, weird wines from Italy because you have 20 regions, a lot of different wines to enjoy. Here at the shop, we do wines that are pretty much that everybody knows, but we also do these weird, wacky wines that I believe should be found and should be explored throughout the country.
America.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about some wines that I think need a home. I think you need to just go find them and take them home with you and drink them and be friends. In the northern part of Argentina, in an area called Salta, there's a very popular white grape called Torrontés. The history of the grape is kind of still out there. DNA testing has proven that it's a relative of the Malvasia family. What matters is this is a great wine. It's a great wine for summer. It's crispy, it's lean, but it has these really beautiful floral, apricot, tropical fruit notes to it, kind of holding the wine together, but the acidity kind of crashes through it and gives it a nice backbone. The fruit of the wine can be a little bit deep. This particular one is Don David. This is a nice, clean, crisp Torrontés. We also have this great Tetra Pak. I mean, we're talking park wine, picnic wine. This Torrontés has a little more fruit on it. It has this really kind of a liqueur tropical fruit like apricots. And then the acidity kind of bursts through it again, holding that up, but it has a little more depth to it. Torrontés from Argentina. Usually when we think about Burgundy, we think about Pinot Noir. If we're thinking about white wine, we think about Chardonnay. Chardonnay was born in that area. Another white wine that was born in that area, or white grape, is called Aligoté. It's usually a grape used to blend with the Cremant sparkling wines of the area to kind of give it some backbone, but it also has its own appellation, and it's a beautiful wine. Actually, if you ever heard of a drink called a Kir, K-I-R, that's cassis and aligoté mixed together. Aligoté is a wonderful white wine. I love it with oysters.
That's really good.
It's crispy, it's lean, it has a nice dart of minerality running through it, and it's not too heavy. Aligoté is awesome, but we're not done with Aligoté. In the United States, Aligoté is grown primarily in Washington State because Burgundy is a very cool climate. It's what we call a continental climate, meaning that it doesn't have a lot of influence from a body of water. In Washington State, you have a similar idea. It's a very cool climate, and Aligoté does very good there. This is an Aligoté from Washington State. It has that crisp, clean minerality that we all are going to be looking for when you go to your wine merchant and ask for an Aligoté, but there's a roundness to it. There's a sweetness to it. Just the sweetness kind of woven into the fruit, not too intense because the acidity kind of makes it nice and crispy. I mean, it's very vibrant. Aligoté, search it out. The next wine I want to talk about, this wine has so many names, and I'm going to scroll those names under the screen for you as I'm talking because it has probably about 15 names. But it's known as Alicante or Alicante. In Italy it's called Alicante, in France they call it Alicante, but they have other names for it as well. And it's also called Alicante Bouschet in Portugal. The thing about this wine that's really wacky is the flesh of the wine, of the grape, is red. When you crush a grape, the juice is clear. But when you crush this grape, it's kind of pinkish. The grape is usually used to blend with other wines to kind of bring color into the wine or bring structure into the wine. But certain winemakers have the ability to make very good Alicante or Alicante Bouschet as 100% varietal wine. We have one here at the shop. It's leathery and smooth and smoky and medium-bodied and earthy. It's a beautiful wine. This is a medium-bodied wine. It's very good for sort of a light meal, more like, you know, maybe like some lean meats and maybe some roasted vegetables. It's a great wine to have on the table. It'll totally impress your friends. Ask your wine merchant about Alicante from France. Talk about it. Try to get into the shop. It's worth trying. Then I want to talk about a wine that's very close to my heart. A couple videos ago, we did a whole thing on Valpolicella and kind of demystifying the wines of Valpolicella. We talked about it being a blend of Corvina, Rondinella, and Molinara. The Corvina grape being the framework for the blend. Well, they do make 100% Corvina. And finally, over the past couple of years, it has come onto the American market. And I'm happy to say that we have a couple of them. Here at the shop, we have it in bottle form, but we also have it in box form. That's right. It's all about the wine, people. If you don't know about this box wine stuff, watch the video that we did about box wine and you'll understand. Whatever in the box, as long as the winemaker knows what they're doing, the wine's going to be good. This is a 100% Corvina. Medium-bodied, smooth, a little bit peppery, good round fruit, and it has that acidity. And we also did a video about chilling red wine, and I'm going to tell you, you put this puppy in the refrigerator overnight, you take it to the park the next day, there's 4 bottles in here. Corvina from the Veneto in the northern part of Italy. Wonderful wine. Ladies and gentlemen, these wines need to be taken home. They need to be shared with friends. What's fun is people may not know about these wines, so you can just take them home, have friends over, and show them this new wine, and they're going to get excited about it. And they're going to tell their friends, and their friends are going to tell their friends, and soon enough, we're going to have even more wines in our brains, in our little databases, so that when we go to wine merchants, we can keep them in check.